Hey, this is Dan Blewett. We're going to go over the changeup today. So number one, we'll go over changeup basics. So when we throw a fastball, that pitch is going to be as fast as we can possibly throw a pitch because we're going to put all of our arm speed through the center of the ball. Okay. So with a changeup or any other breaking ball, there's going to be ways for us to put some of that arm speed onto the edge of the ball so that it becomes spin. So with the changeup, I basically described to everyone that 5% of the speed reduction, because we're looking for about 10% in general. So if you throw 90 miles per hour, your changeup should be about 81, 78 to 82, somewhere in that range. We're going to get 5% of that speed reduction by using fingers that are weaker than our fastball fingers, our index and our middle fingers. So we're going to get a couple of that 5% from not throwing the ball off our fingertips quite as much. And then we're going to get the other 5% by turning over the pitch rather than coming directly through the center of it. Because again, when we go directly through the center of the baseball, we're putting all of our force into the center of the ball. When we're going on one edge or the other, as in any kind of breaking ball, then we're losing some of the velocity as it converts into spin. Okay, so the changeup grip I teach is off a hooking the horns sign. So you just go like this, open your palm, slap the baseball in the center of it in a two-seam fashion, and I like the middle two fingers to oppose the thumb with these two fingers following a two-seam grip. From that, these two fingers are going to fall down the side and just gently relax on the ball. So, this isn't far off from a circle change, but if we're going to just wrench our fingers down there, it's going to tense our hand up, which isn't going to make the pitch as effective. So, there's a lot of different ways. The important thing, and the reason I utilize this grip and teach it most of the time, is that from down here, the thumb's going to put pressure on the bottom digits of the fingers. So when this pitch comes off the hand, it's going to roll off the middle fingers, the middle digit of the middle two fingers, so that we're putting less of the ball out in front of us, and we're getting more of a tumble over top. And again, the grip is important, but the most important thing is the hand position. So if we're rolling over, pronating just a hair early on our pitch, so if we're releasing it here versus here on a fastball, that's what's going to make that secondary speed reduction, so that second 5% off of the pitch, and this is going to give us an angled spin that's going to give us some sink and some run. Okay, so again, to get the grip, we're looking at this position here. Two-seam orientation I think is most comfortable for most people, and some people will say, hey, you throw a four-seam fastball, you should throw a four-seam grip changeup. I don't really agree with that. I personally throw a four-seam fastball and I throw a two-seam changeup, and so far the swings that I get from hitters do not indicate to me that they can easily pick up the difference in spin. I'm sure there are some eyes that can, but I don't think that's really that relevant for most pitchers. So again, from here, the most important thing is turning the pitch over just a hair early upon release, and that the pressure is in the middle of the finger, not on the fingertips, and not going through the center of the ball. So when we teach this, I explain that there's two main errors, which is number one, going through the center of it. So we don't want to be going straight through here. We'll get flat spin, just like a regular two-seamer. So that pitch will be too hard and too straight. And then we don't want cut spin. So that's when the hand goes on the wrong side of the ball, causing slight break to our glove side. So flat error, cut error, and then this is the proper release for pronating a hair early, getting on the inside half of the ball, and getting that angled spin, where if they do this right, they'll see these seams rotating, making a thick red line on a diagonal. Okay, so that's the long and the short of how I teach the changeup. Again, the grip is important, but it's much less important than the actual execution of the pitch, which again comes from slight early pronation and pressure coming off of the middle digit of the middle two fingers.